got the angle right. Is that my good side, Paul? Is that my good side? Adriana was talking
Hold
about
on, let me see. That's, you know what? That's what I was just gonna say.
Thank you.
You know what? Can you put a little ice in it?
Yes, we finally have ice.
Oh.
So,
Baby, look at Paul.
what?
Baby, look at Paul.
What?
Baby, look at. I was winning with that damn blue juice.
Four Loko. What color is that? I'm colorblind. What's that? Like blue or something, right? Blue. What color is this?
Pink.
Pink.
Well, what color does blue and light pink make?
Purple.
That's what that is. Purple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Purple.
Paul getting 4 Locos.
Just your food propaganda. These.
Oh yeah, we don't want to plug Four Locos. Is that what it is?
You don't want to count 4 Locos, man.
Propaganda. Propaganda.
Propaganda.
Okay.
Okay. Are you filming?
Yeah, I'm filming. Why?
We just said 4 Locos.
Are you ready? You want me to cut it out? I can bleep out the words.
Okay. Quick. FYI.
Okay.
You got a typo on one of your videos.
Oh, I do? What?
The last one we did.
What?
With the dog trainer or whatever.
Oh, we did? I do?
Yeah, you put dog training dojo.
Dog handling. Damn it! And how many times did I say that?
I told him.
Dog handling.
I told him. But on the other one.
Appreciate the plug though, but it's wrong.
Okay, I screwed up. It's not dog training dojo, it's dog handling dojo.
Dog.
So what do we have here today?
This is Bird,
Stacy.
Stacy,
Paul.
Adriana.
And we're here to, you know what? I was thinking about all this thing. It's not dog training dojo.
No.
You gotta change it to hog.
Well, we don't train hogs. We train.
Human.
Well,
Wait, no, wait, dog.
We
No,
actually-
it's not D-O-G. It's no, dog handling. It's D-H-G. Okay, I had this all.
OG. Yeah.
Okay, so it's human handling dojo.
Right. We handle dogs. We train humans. So dog handling.
Apparently,
dojo.
I've needed quite a bit of it, according to some of the comments and according to. Okay.
But you're doing well. You're doing well. You're starting to resolve to the fact that it's what we need to do. You have to change your mind state in order to move forward. And sometimes you have to start from the beginning in order to move forward. And this is what we're doing.
I'm 49. I'm starting from the beginning. I've had dogs all my life, and I'm starting from the beginning.
Sometimes I have to. You get a time of regression, and let's say I've made 3 steps forward with a dog, and I run into a wall with them and can't move forward, or they just stop performing. It's called regression. I take it back to the beginning and start from step 1 and keep moving. It's all about thresholds, as far as you can get.
Does it mean anything that, well, I've said it a few times, I don't know if anybody's new watching this, I've gotten older dogs all my life, so they were
Yes.
easy. I didn't have to worry about training them because they would lay down on the couch and I'd cover them up and they're just older and whatever, so it was easy. It was easy. They already knew sit, stay, and whatever.
Well, we rescue as well. We don't breed, we don't buy, we only rescue. And but we still have experience with puppies all the way to senior dogs. We have 3 dogs of our own, besides the dogs that come to our home and we board and train there. We call it it's camp.
Which I have to say is a wonderful thing, because we went to the Bahamas, we had a great time, and when we looked up the prices of boarding and training and whatever it is, it actually worked out great, because you actually taught them something at the same time as they were they learned something at the same time as they were sleeping
So
over.
that's the boarding training camp. It's the boarding training camp.
that was actually awesome.
And it was a nice segue to where we start now. See, we call that Synergy Camp. This is Synergy Sessions, where we are basically, we're the in-between. Us working together for a greater effect. That's why I call myself the dog synergist. You know what I mean? I show you how to handle your dog and teach you to walk through it. So hopefully I'm the only dog trainer you ever need. If using those steps that I was privileged enough to teach you, you know what to do next time.
Or you won't be a trainer.
Oh yeah, that's our objective. You don't need a trainer after us.
You know what the thing is I was thinking about it is you keep me in check. Well, no, I mean,
Damn.
No,
He's a big dude to keep in check.
No. It's like okay. How many people? I mean, you have a cleaning service that comes to your house. How many people actually clean the house before the cleaning service comes to the house, right? I mean, that's I know people like that, you know.
So you're saying you prepare your dogs before I get here?
It's like as a dentist, no, I don't prepare the dogs, but I'm like I can't let them go majorly downhill since the last time you've been here.
And how are they behaving subsequently because of that?
We're not, just like you yelled at, well, you didn't yell at me, but you're like, okay, and you're still feeding the dogs 10 pounds of food at once without keeping track of what they're doing?
Outside, free feeding.
Right. And then what did I say to you? I said,
Who did it?
Who actually did that? Put the trough of food outside?
so you can't even tell who's eating it. If it's the squirrels, if it's the raccoons, or if it's
a rat, or if your dog is over.
Or if it's the cute little woodpecker that comes, and I'll have to put these clips in the video.
You pick up bugs and everything has to get in there.
Right. I order the bugs. I order stuff online from DIY.com. So
Okay.
Stuff. No.
Do-it-yourself dog trough.
No, but one of the things that you mentioned, actually, talk about feeding as much as you, whatever it is. I mean, because we don't really keep track of how much food we give the dogs, because we don't know.
No, I promise you, since you told me, I put just one in the morning, one at night. But it's because because Haley was outside, I put that outside and she's not been eating today.
Okay.
And also Chloe, I've been trying to give food to Chloe all day and she...
Well, but that's okay. But did you notice they eat at night? I mean, all the other dogs I've had too. It's like
They don't
eat all day. They don't eat all day. They don't eat all day. But you saw Chloe. I gave her a bowl of food last night in the cage there.
Yeah.
She ate it.
There's some days our dogs won't sit back and eat in the morning. We pick it up. You got
10, 15 minutes.
5 to 15 minutes to eat your food. You don't eat your
You
food,
pick it up.
you're done.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Oh yes.
But why? I mean, okay. Why is that? Is that a control thing to say?
It is.
Say, hey, look.
It's a leadership thing. One of our core concepts is.
So you understand what he's saying? You give it to them. If they don't eat it in 15 minutes, that's it. You take it away. So now they're gonna know that I gotta eat it or I gotta wait till tonight.
Yeah.
And some dogs are.
Or if they're
Dogs are just like that. Unless it's an illness that an unforeseen illness that you can't see, then you do something about it. Okay. But those symptoms will present themselves. If it's just a regular day and the dog is finicky, he doesn't want to eat. There's no need to feel sorry for the dog. It actually will benefit him later. If he doesn't eat then he's more likely to eat
And
later.
also the behavior.
And it'll keep up with behavior too, because that's one of our 5 core concepts in our training system. It's control the food, control the door, control the walk, control the play. Engage your dog's eyes and all day he'll obey. So if your dog is out, if you're free feeding your dog, and your food is out there all day, everything like that, and you're using food-based rewards to sit back and train or get behavior out of your dog, and his food is always down there, if he can sit back and eat freely how he wants to, what does he got to listen to you for? Not to mention, you have to look at his eating habits. If he's a large dog and he's a gorger and eats really fast, you're at work all day. You're at risk of giving your dog bloat, which can kill him. It can sit back, he'll overeat, or he eats too fast and he builds up gas in his stomach. It twists and he could die. 40% of large dogs, that's the leading cause of death in large dogs, is bloat. So it's also safe to control the food as well. Not to mention the price of food. You gotta know what you're feeding your dog and how much you're feeding your dog. So all those are factors.
It's like, no, I don't know. I'm like, I 49, I've had dogs all my life. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like thinking, I'm like, you know, how many people are like me? How many people are like me out there?
A lot.
Okay, that I have a doggy door, I don't have a doggy door in this, you know, I used to have a doggy door, whatever, a little doggy door actually at the back. They would go out to the bathroom whenever they want. They would eat, the food and the water was there all the time. I have no clue if they have diarrhea or if they're constipated. I have no idea.
Right.
Because they're not like Haley that just poops right in the driveway. So I don't know. I mean, the few dogs that I've had, they literally take their butt and shove it up against the fence and like as far as you can go, they go. There's some like Haley that like, okay, I open up the door, I let her out, she poops right there, you know.
We call that dog owning, not dog handling. And it kind of goes, like you said, you've had dogs all your life. And I've experienced that growing up in
But they
my
didn't.
family as well. We
But
had
they
that
didn't
dog,
die,
we
they
had
were
a dog
healthy.
outside,
They-
on the dog chain, everything like that. But look how society has moved forward. We sat back as kids too. Even the generation of kids they have these days aren't the same as we were back then. But we have similarities. But the difference is now, there's more allergies. I'm trying to say it nicely. There's more allergies out there. Kids are softer these days. Everybody's got to wear a helmet. You name it. Did you wear a helmet as a kid riding a bike? No. If you were the exact same age,
my mother
they wear a helmet. Go outside and play. You had to be at 5 o'clock to eat, or when the street lights came on, mom counted 5 fingers, 10 fingers, and 10 toes, and if you were okay, go back outside summertime till the street lights came on. But these days, that was the same concept of leaving the dog outside, any kind of inclement weather, just heat, cold, that's our yard dog. But these days, dogs are coming down with more allergies. You name it, because people are just owning their dogs and not handling their dogs. You have all these backyard breeds.
You're right. You call it a crate, I call it a cage. Haley's perfectly fine on the couch there, whatever, so I'm okay with it. I wake up in the morning, I'm always late. What do? I open the door, I let her out, and that's it, done. Dog, what do you call it, dog owner or whatever, not handler?
Everybody can be a dog owner, not everybody can be a dog handler.
She doesn't poop in the house, she doesn't pee in the house.
For us, there's 8 dogs in our house right now. 3 of them are ours. The other 5 are board and trains.
Wait, how many? Oh, 5.
There's 8 dogs. There's 8 dogs in the house right now.
They're all crated.
7. 1 comes tomorrow.
They're all crated.
Right now, all of them but 2 are crated.
2,
All
you
2
two?
are crated. Our 2.
Why are you 2 not crated?
Well, our 3rd is crated.
Why is it 3rd crated?
And she's 2 years old because she hasn't reached 100% acceptable behavior. She might make a mistake in the house, so we sit back and this is teaching her how to behave.
She was the one that was the homeless dog.
She was our foster dog. So we've only had her for a year, but she's 2 years old. Yeah.
Oh, so you're looking for a home for her? Or?
Actually, we're gonna keep her.
So she's not a foster, well.
She's not a foster anymore.
She was homeless,
That's how
so-
we got her. She grew up in a homeless camp, everything like that.
In the
and
woods, right by our house.
in the woods of our house, and I used to help out the homeless people in the woods. We'd give them food for the dogs, food for them.
There's that barbecue.
Give them a tent, they're living in the woods of our house. And I would take their dog once in a while and train them for her, and give her obedience and everything like that, and bring her back. If they got in trouble, or if it was raining or whatever, we'd keep her for a couple of days, whatnot, what have you. And well, come to find out, there was another lady helping with the vet bills and everything like that. We finally met, and the homeless people got into a situation they couldn't get out of, and she couldn't keep the dog at the time, even though she supplied the vet bills and everything. She said, "Can you hold her? I'll give her the food, everything like that." Well, after a while, she was there for so long, she goes, "Well, do you want her?" And we're like, "Yeah." Now she acts just like her other dogs. With she's still not fully mature, and she is an American bully. And bully breeds are one of the slowest maturing dogs and slowest aging. If you're not familiar, they don't reach full maturity until 3 years old. So she's 2 now, so she still has some unwanted child behaviors going on. If left to her own devices, she might choose something she's not supposed to, whatnot, what have you. And that's not safe, and it's also not good dog owning. If you know your dog does that, that crate or kennel or cage, whatever you call it, basically is a playpen with a roof on it for a dog. You're not gonna leave your 3-year-old out running around while you sit back and go to work or have things to do. This is safety for your dog, and also teaches them how to behave. You give them this much space, they learn how to behave in this much space, then you give them this much space, 1 room at a time. You don't give them the run of the house until they've developed the behavioral that you need for you guys to coexist. That's what it's all about. And in the beginning, 25 years ago, we didn't use a crate for a dog. Sit back now, I swear by it. It shows.
We never used to.
We never used
But
to.
that's how I am. I mean,
I swear by it.
that's why I got a fence around my whole house.
I swear by it now.
That's why.
That whole fence around your house is also an outdoor environment. And not only that, it's sensory overload for a dog. What you can't see, smell, and hear, a dog can. And so you could be creating reactivity more in your dog by giving them that free run without showing them behavior first.
So I've gotten dogs from the Humane Society, from Adoptions by Judy, which is now whatever, something in Sanford, Judy. I brought them home. I go to work, they sit outside, they have a dry area to hang out, they have food, they have water.
Right. What are they missing? And all of that we've talked about.
20 other dogs as a pack. I mean, right? Because I mean, they're animals. I mean, right? What are dog packs or what? Right?
That too, but
so here's an animal. Here's an animal that we're an animal that we're bringing into the house. I mean, they belong out there with 20 other dogs.
Where else do they belong?
Well, depends what the purpose is, right?
Why did you bring a dog into your home?
To guard it, to watch it, so people, whoever walks by, whoever drives by, whoever they see Haley running back and forth, barking.
Let's humanize the situation. Why you get a girlfriend or a wife and bring them into your home?
To clean it.
That was my fault. I set him up. I set him up.
You didn't hear that.
Oh, I set him up.
No. To join you in your bed.
The point I'm trying to get across is, I'm sorry to humanize it, but we're talking about between.
You can.
We're talking about.
What was the question again?
Why did you bring your dog into your home?
You said humanize it. What?
Well,
this is my second for look at. That's my second for look.
I was trying to get you to answer the point I was trying to make by humanizing it, and posing it in a question.
What was the question?
So basically, is why do you bring a dog into your home besides to guard it and everything like that? You're missing the number one reason.
What's the number one reason?
Thank you.
Yes.
Engagement. So in all that we were talking about with the crate.
I got a buzz. I got my second for
all that we were talking about with the crate, and you saying, well, they have food, they have a yard to run around in, everything like that. The one thing that you miss is what they covet the most is companionship.
I thought it was a trick question.
And engagement with their owner. The more engaged you are with your owner, the more of a handler you become, and the bond and trust you build deeper with your dog. If you build train a dog with behavior and obedience, and engage with your dog on a daily, you know what I mean, as a dog and owner handler relationship, you will never have to teach your dog protection work to guard your home. The loyalty that you created and trust that you created alone will do that itself. You can come into my home, meet my dog, you name it. He'll love you to death. You can bring in other dogs. He'll be social with them, play with them, you name it. Sit back, hang out with my wife, have fun with her, everything like that. If you sit back and try to do anything aggressively towards my wife, you're going to meet a different dog.
Totally.
I'm just thinking, you're totally blowing.
We don't teach them how to. Well, I'm not blowing up.
No. You're totally blowing.
You're companionship.
No. You're totally like blowing. What's the words I'm looking for? I go downtown around Lake Eola. There's the huge, condos, the apartments, whatever it is.
Right.
And I see these people coming out with this huge dog, with my Doberman, with my Husky, or whatever. Right. And I think to myself, I'm like, God, I feel so bad for that dog. Because here I watch my dog.
Because of the size of the dog?
No,
because the people I got the cameras around the house. I got my neighbors and now today somebody, where's Chloe? Or I said, Chloe's Houdini. She calls her Houdini. She was Chloe. I said, well, Chloe, we haven't officially changed her name, but Houdini. She's, I don't want to say punished or whatever it is, but she's now the house dog. And Haley stays outside or whatever it is. But when I see Haley and Chloe running around, the neighbors come with their dogs. They stick their nose to the fence, they pet them, they chase the squirrels, To me, I love that.
Are you out there when they're playing around?
No, I'm watching through the window. I'm in the shower, getting ready.
So when does Haley escape? When does Chloe escape?
Chloe, she hasn't actually.
When I took for first time Haley walking.
Okay.
Oh yeah, of course, because they're together all the time.
Right.
So yeah, so one's jealous
So
of
if
the other.
Chloe's by herself, she doesn't try to
Lately, we haven't
good?
tested it.
She's amazing here.
Lately, actually, she's been really good. She'll go like run under the fifth wheel of the RV or whatever it is to see because
So
she knows
knows
this,
how to
you know, if it's the cats. So she doesn't she has it like there were times that she whole ass just opened the door, she ran, she jumped over the fence and she's out of here. She's not doing that now. She's she's
okay, so we have a progression.
So yeah,
this is why we're here.
Exactly.
So this is why we're here. We have a progression.
Right.
And how did we come to that progress?
Possibly because I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
Possibly expectation. You change your expectation.
Well, possibly because she's with her. She's staying home all day.
Okay.
She's with her. She's getting the attention.
But now they
we did mention companionship.
Yeah.
Now they take Chloe out. I say, let's do wee-wee. And she does wee-wee, and straight away she comes home.
Yeah, now she wants, and she's right. She's right. Once she pees, once she poops,
And
you know,
she
she's
comes in.
waiting to come because she knows.
Now, when she was at our house for Synergy Camp, that's exactly what we did because we have a dog run. We've trained our dogs to go to the bathroom one spot in the yard.
Right.
So they know when I open the door, if the run door to go out to the yard is not open and they go outside one at a time, the dogs are trained to go left and go to the bathroom and immediately come back in. Now, if I open all the doors and open the right side door to the yard, they know it's time for play. I also do the command. I also do the command like this. So she got used to that. But that's what I mean about a routine and expectations and everything like that. You have to have those boundaries set for your dog so they have the understanding. It's not an English thing where you sit back and go, "What did you do?" They really don't know what you're talking about.
But now I doing this every morning. Even in my pajamas, I let her out there. I say, wee. She does wee and come back.
Fantastic.
And when I have my shower, I get ready.
Because it's a
I
routine.
go walking.
Yeah.
Because you said just walking first, that next to me.
Yes.
And later in the afternoon, after she have more water, whatever, I let play.
Okay.
Because I let her to play and smell everything. And now
but when you're walking,
and she's doing,
it's a training walk.
Now she's doing so well.
Fantastic.
I'm
I'm so glad to
happy.
hear that. I'm so glad to hear that.
But she's looking the fish there, or she's looking there underneath like to see at the bag and she's dancing.
I'm so glad to hear that. So how does that make you feel, Paul?
No, that's wonderful. That makes me feel like I didn't know what I was talking about before, and whatever.
I'm sorry that I made you feel like you didn't know what you were talking about. I'm here to help, and you have to be.
Too much.
It has to be clear direction.
She's
No time to be around the bush because if your dog is escaping, that is a safety issue.
No,
you're not only
obviously.
losing your companion,
Yeah,
but
obviously.
it's putting her in danger. So you have to nip that in the bud right away. So there's no time for beating around the bush. It has to be clear direction, and the routine and expectation has to be just as adamant.
Right.
And I mean that was what we were trying to reach you on, about being that adamant, where you have that balance and you get that behavior.
Yeah. See, before she just, I mean, yes, both of them. Well, going back to the apartment thing downtown. It's like I see how they play, how they chase each other, how they whatever it is. I mean, it's cool. I'm like, oh my God, look at them. You know, they're enjoying themselves. They're playing. They're this, they're that. You know, downtown they come out of the crate, go for a walk, come inside, back in a crate, back in the apartment. To me, that's not a life. That's like being in jail. And then you know they let you out for that hour, 2 hours a day or whatever.
I think I kind of get the idea that you're basing a lot of this on large dogs. You see big dogs.
Well, I mean you're right. Large.
Do you realize that
large or small,
a lot of large breeds need less exercise than smaller breeds?
Yeah,
it's terriers and stuff like that. Well, of course the husky.
Okay.
Like the Spitz that come from the Spitz breed. They're
Eskimo Spitz, the white one.
Huskies. Yeah, but huskies are in the Spitz family. That's why they look.
Okay. But that's my point. So when I see Haley, because I got that the whistle, the GPS thing, and I showed you 11 miles to 14 miles a day.
Right.
She does back and forth.
But
there's no treadmill I'm going to put her on.
But we've talked about productive, constructive exercise. What she was displaying was obsessive, compulsive disorder.
I'm going to tell you,
there's a difference. She's running back and forth because she's freaked out. Going, I'm going to get this car. I'm going to get this car. She's
now I noticed that she's doing less now.
Who, Haley?
Yes.
She does it every day, all
but
day.
now I noticed that since this week she's been doing less.
I'm going to tell you, I'm not correcting it. I don't.
It won't become a balance.
Yeah,
she's doing less. Yes, and she's been sleeping in the front. She's been sleeping at the.
When I'm at work, where is she? When I'm at work, where is she?
Yeah, before she used
She's
to.
outside all day, right?
Yes.
Do you let her inside at all or no?
No, sometimes, but now.
Chloe's in a cage, or is she
No,
outside?
sometimes in the day I let her both to come in because it's extremely hot.
Sometimes it's too hot, you come in a little
Yes,
cool.
I
Okay.
let them in.
But that's why I had that
And
big trunk out there. So
they
they could jump
behave
in.
now better. They don't fight like fight like before.
Because you're saying, hey,
Now, yes.
save that for outside.
Yes.
Right.
And now I'm surprised because I keep doing videos or photos of Hailey that she's been just sitting
that's in the
or
freezer.
just being more relaxed.
Okay, now, it doesn't happen as often, but what are you doing about it when it does happen? Are you recalling her back?
I didn't
to you?
wanna
You
touch
saying
the bottle
you're
when
giving
you-
her a leave it command and calling her back?
Hailey. But
Well,
Hailey-
you don't want to use a name for a correction. You just want to, if you want to recall her, but you say leave it and then call her back to you.
Which leash do you use?
No, with Hailey.
This is when she's just out in the yard.
No, because with Hailey, don't forget that Hailey, I just bring her here to give water or to make sure if she's eating.
But I'm saying, if she does start chasing after the cars, running back on the
No,
fence,
because I don't know when she's chasing the car.
have you ever witnessed her? Have you ever looked out and witnessed her?
Whoa.
doing that?
I've been looking from the back because she doesn't know they're looking
Right, that you're
to
looking.
her. And sometimes cars pass and she's relaxed now. She's
Okay.
not running that
Okay.
much.
Where's the garbage at?
If ever, well, this is one of the reasons why we're sitting here doing this thing.
And now they don't do the pupus or weaving like before, like last week.
Because of the
they were
routine.
doing pupus and weaving. Now, no one of their two.
Paul, you didn't tell me that.
What's say it again? Say it again.
This week, no.
Basically, your routine that I set back and
Yeah.
set up for you, the home behavioral etiquette routine.
Okay.
That now they're starting to fall in line where they're getting acclimated to the routine and the behavior is becoming way better.
Oh, you're talking about her not going to the bathroom in the house?
Yeah.
This week.
Well, because honestly, I don't know. That I don't know. She's in charge of that part.
This week because I've
And
been,
Louis?
for the
Pigs
last
without a
3
blanket.
weeks, I've been more at home than before.
Okay.
And I think I have the chance to look and to check them more often.
They look less
And now-
stressed, right, Rob?
And now they're more like,
Like
Behave.
sitting over there laying down.
You like these?
Sitting over there laying down.
You eat
Less
some of
stressed.
these? Sure. There you go.
I didn't get fat for nothing. But that's one of the reasons why we're here. So along with this, basically that home behavioral etiquette routine is clear direction for your dog. It's better communicating to your dog
Right.
to show you what your expectations are. That looks cute, by the way.
What's that?
The weenies.
They're like little, I don't know, like, so,
You're like, hey, Paul.
Tammy, one of my friends, she did pigs in a blanket, like she wraps them up with a,
Biscuit.
yeah, exactly, she puts them in the oven, or I just buy them like this and eat
Buy
them
'em
like
like
this
this.
because I'm too lazy. But
Okay.
I mean, you know what, like, I mean, I'm getting,
Used to it.
I'm
Slowly but surely.
realizing that I'm wrong in so many things or whatever, thank you. I'm realizing I'm wrong in so many
I
things.
just grabbed them. These are cute.
Yeah.
You know what this is called? This is called a belly top foot. Oh, that's fantastic. They didn't bark.
Well, they don't usually bark. They don't, but I want them to bark. Oh, that's a new one.
We'll talk about that.
Who's that?
Come here. Come here. Haley didn't even move.
Say hi to everybody on YouTube.
There you go. Haley didn't even move. That was fantastic.
What is that?
That was fantastic. Haley didn't even move.
Oh, I told you, Haley sleeps through everything. But that, to me, that's not fantastic. What's up? What's up? Huh.
Fantastic. Your dog doesn't have thumbs. She can't answer your door.
But you know what? I don't mind if she hears a noise and she goes, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." I don't
That's giving
mind.
them a chance to pull out a gun, knife, stick, or whatever, and shoot your dog because they know it's here. Otherwise, if they're quiet, they sneak in the door. Only thing they see is glowing eyes, and then you get a chance to load up.
You proved me wrong again.
Straight like that. I don't want you to know I got a dog. I want you to sneak in my house and see glowing eyes. You cannot run a dog.
Okay, so
My
you know
dog.
what? See, you proved me wrong again. So what you're saying is, just don't bark at them. Just be quiet. And once they get in,
This is 2018. We're in Florida. Everybody got a license to
You
carry
rip
in the
them
field.
apart. You rip them apart.
Yeah, everybody
Is
knows.
it okay if she? So what? Actually, there you go. What's the next command we can train them? Like if it wasn't for Lynn,
I
if
don't
it
do
was
that.
somebody
I
else,
don't do that.
well,
I don't need to do it for one thing. Like I said before, if you and your dog have that companionship and loyalty, you do not have to teach your dog to protect you or your home. He's gonna know, he's gonna sense that's a stranger. Energy and body language, the way that guy comes in. If you walk into my house and you're Paul, I can introduce you to my dog at your house and in my house. And later on, you leave and come into my house when I'm not there and try to go after my wife. That dog that you just met is gonna tear off your leg.
I just wanted to get a shot of. Well, see that stool is there because Chloe likes to dig in all the plants.
She did excellent, by the way.
So Haley's been sitting there.
Excellent. I'm so proud of her.
See, I'm kind of not proud of her.
I am.
Because
I am. That's called balanced dog. Dog barking and running to your door is called reactivity.
She hasn't met him yet, so punch me in the face. I want to see what she does.
So you want to?
No, seriously.
No.
Let's have a fake fight,
sir.
Wait, I'm not looking.
This is my nephew. He's in from Arizona.
Let's have a fake fight. Here, come on.
Oh, because the dog.
Ow! She's not doing that.
You're full of shit.
So does everybody else, apparently.
Good girl, Haley.
See? Haley! I could have been shot. I could have been killed.
Now a dog that is prone to run away and jump fences and everything like that, the last thing you want them to be is reactive to a door. You want to have them, you know what I mean? Like I said, if they don't have thumbs, you can't open it. And you remember, control the door, control the food, control the play, control the walk. Engage your dog's eyes and don't take it away. Controlling the doors, not having your dog run to the door if you go to my house and you knock on my dogs are laying right there.
All 8 of them.
8 of them. Yeah.
You won't hear a dog bark. You won't hear a dog bark. And you ate my house. And they won't meet you at the door. Everything by invitation only.
So they're not supposed to bark when somebody comes to your house. Then your dogs are like, you're a rat.
I can't speak for everybody, but I teach my dogs not to bark.
But see, Harley was that.
You're the one that introduced me to them.
I know.
You need them more than I do.
No, my dogs are crazy.
A barking dog, it can become obsessive and an imbalance. Think about it. Dogs come from wolves, right? Dogs come from wolves. Wolves don't bark in a while. Why?
But they run around like crazy on a while, which is what I let them do in my yard.
They run around to hunt or migrate to a safe place for survival only. They don't just run around willy-nilly. It has a purpose. And when the alpha wolf stops, the rest of the pack stops. So when you come home and you're sitting down, your pack should be sitting down, not running around. If you're running around engaging your dog, that's leadership. So just like I said, we use for the wolf. When the wolf is sitting back and they're walking and they're migrating to someplace else, the whole pack is migrating with that wolf. When that alpha wolf stops and sits down, the whole pack will do so. When that wolf is hunting, they hunt. When that wolf is sleeping, they sleep. So why not adopt the same thing with your dog, who is descendant of the wolf?
I've been doing
anything else. If your dog is sitting around, if your dog is barking incessantly,
I'm not descendants of the wolves. Their little paws are fluffed and
Well, actually, one of the smallest dogs, oldest dogs, is closely related to the wolf and doesn't look like a wolf. And that would be the Chin and the Shih Tzu.
Yeah, I've got a Yorkie.
The Yorkie. Well, why is it that the smaller the dog, the bigger the mouth?
It's tenacity. It's a lot of small dogs are terrier, and terrier come from what?
Owner.
Yeah.
Hey, you baby up. You let him go.
What she just said. These small dogs are usually bred for small game hunting. So they have to breed a certain tenacity into them. They have to be ready to hunt in small places, burrow in the holes, and not show that fear. So they have to breed some tenacity into these small dogs to get that job done. Yeah.
It's a big dog syndrome.
So it has a big dog syndrome, but you treat it like a little dog. So it has the tenacity of a pit bull, but you won't treat that dog as such.
How do you get a little dog to shut up?
Same way you get a big dog to shut up. No difference. Same way.
I may have to have a little chat.
But the first
let me tell you, these damn dogs don't shut up.
the first thing you do with a little dog is, anytime a little dog is showing unwanted behavior, any signs of aggression, any signs of anxiety, any signs of excitement, what's the first thing an owner does, a small dog owner does?
Picks them up.
Picks them up. So what are you doing when you do that?
Which is what
you're encouraging that behavior. You're saying it's okay. do it again.
Does that make sense?
Right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
When our dogs misbehave, if they're barking or going swift, what do? The first thing we do is quiet them or lay them down in a place and settle. Settle your dog down.
Do you have kids?
Yeah. I have grown children.
Were they always?
I'm a grandfather.
How long have you been doing this human training?
About 30 years, 31 years now.
Are your kids good?
Yeah, very well behaved. Extremely. My son graduates Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Got a good boy.
Your daughter graduated.
Yeah, my daughter is 31 years old, graduated nursing school, you name it. She has 3 kids of her own. My oldest granddaughter.
How does knowing all this, like,
relate as
to
far as
being like,
because it's the domestic relationship that we have between that mammal. It's a human-dog relationship that I'm teaching you to understand.
So my kids would be freaking horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Tell people that.
you said that,
Right.
not me.
You tell people that, right? I want to look at people as
But I'm like, would you, I say all the
My
time,
dogs listen to
I
me.
humanize it to get understanding, and I go, would you let your kid do that?
Well, you said that to me, exactly. So actually, have you seen, like, have you looked at going to people's houses or whatever it is? Have you seen like a correlation between like
A badass kid and a badass dog?
your
All
kid
the
and your
time.
dog
That's how
just
you
suck.
All the
That's
time.
unbelievable.
And then I get some opposites. I get the good kid with the bad dog.
Because
So
the
I'm
kid
like,
got
why is the
smacked
kid-
in the butt.
I'm like, why
and
is
the
the kid
dog-
behave so much of your dog? and your
Most
dog?
of it is the good
Do the
dog
same
and
thing.
the
If
owner
you got
is
those kind of boundaries and discipline for your child, why would you have for your dog? That's your 4-legged child. Even though it is a dog, you know, don't want to humanize it, don't forget, you still have a dog. You know, it's an animal in the house. You can love it like your child, but it's not your child. That is a dog. Everybody goes, my fur baby this, my fur baby that. I feel you. I love my dog to death. But you got to understand, you got to separate church and state. You have an animal in the house. The more you humanize it, the less of wanted behavior you're going to get. Dogs do not understand human tendencies. Even though you think, oh look, he thinks he's human or he feels guilty. Dogs don't know guilt. That body language you see when they're
They don't know guilt. Dogs don't know guilt.
When dogs sit and see when they're bent down like this because you come home and they shit on the floor. That's
They don't know guilt?
That's not I feel guilty.
What is
You
it?
Yeah.
can't-
likes to say
that's
hi
the
to
worst
Lynn.
time to correct that behavior. The only thing the dog is saying to you in his body language is, I'm not a threat. He just doesn't want to be
He said
punished
hi
for
to
what
Lynn,
he
huh?
doesn't know what he did.
Oh, they know. Okay, then if he
Dog
if
does
he
not know guilt.
see,
Now,
I
if
can't
you
believe
catch
that.
it, it's all about timing. If you catch and correct the behavior at the time it happens, you can correlate the two to get him to associate with, I don't want that behavior to happen. But all he sees is, you walk in the door going, what did you do? He sees that body language, and all he wants to do is go,
No, that's not true because
I'm not a threat.
I've had
That's what
dogs.
that says.
Look at her
Dogs
thing.
do not know guilt.
What do I do now when she keeps
She keeps hitting his foot.
digging on my foot, on my foot?
Give
She's
you-
trying to give me. She wants my attention.
But if you would have done this, okay, the dog is sitting back. The dog is sitting back clawing at his leg right now.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about humanizing your dog, but I can use the example in a human standpoint. When we were younger, and there were a group of adults talking, and we sat back and got in the middle of that conversation, what would your parents do? Child?
Oh God.
We're talking right now.
Oh.
It should be invitation only. Your dog didn't do anything toward that behavior. If you're gonna pet your dog for nothing, why do I have to listen to you? I'm gonna misbehave.
So basically, I'm talking
Use it
right.
as
I'm
a
talking
reward
right
this.
now. Right. I'm
To get
talking.
your dog to behave better.
So I'm talking right now. So she's trying to get. Oh, see. Oh, right there again. So she's trying. Oh, but see, look at Lynn. You introduced me to him. She's interrupting us right now, and you're praising her because she's howling. Exactly.
She was
See?
good. She accepted.
They were bred to be cute, so humans would take them home and their species would prosper.
See?
You understand what I'm saying?
Don't pet her
Dogs were
while.
bred to- Would you
She's
pet a wolf
being
if you
good,
saw one?
though. Probably.
No, she's not. She's going, oh, while we're talking. She's going, oh, while we're talking.
Basically what we're
What would
saying
you do if your kid interrupted your conversation?
is send him away. Grown folks are talking. We got a grown
Don't
folks
pet
house.
her. Don't
Grown
pet
folks
her
are
until
talking.
she sits down. And she's good. You
I
don't
don't
praise
hurt my
her.
dog, but I'm doing something.
You don't praise her. Look, she don't
Watch.
even know what to do now.
Watch. Off.
Go to your crib.
Chloe, come here, baby. Chloe, come. See? This is
Go to your
hold on.
crib.
If this
Go
is
to
your
your
kid,
crib.
if this is your kid, we're videotaping everything like
Right.
this. If your own child did this, what would you say?
Go.
We're talking right now, you know?
How come you didn't say that to your dog? This is your house, your dog.
Oh, look what she did. She went into the crate.
Look.
Wow. Okay, so now I give. Oh, is that what
now
you
you
did?
give her a treat.
Now I give her a treat. Chloe, come here. Chloe, come here. Chloe, come here.
Actually, I would do it where the place is. So she
Okay, all right, here.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, you know what? I want to show how she gets it from the top one. Watch this. Chloe, come here. Chloe. See, now she don't even know
clear
it.
direction and the right voice. It's all about communication.
Chloe, come here. Come here,
Watch.
Chloe.
No. Watch. It's about body language too. Chloe, come. Come.
Oh my God.
What did you say?
Good girl. Yes.
I mean,
Very
that's
good.
not that
Okay,
nice.
wait.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna go right.
Now I said no.
What do you do? Oh, you're right.
Now you notice all of our dogs. Dogs don't have the ability
I see you.
for verbal communication. It's word association.
Right.
Every time I was sitting back giving her those commands, did you notice? I gave a visual to go along with it. To call her, I sat back and bent down.
Take care,
Stay in
guys.
posture.
Okay.
Right.
And gave a signal like this. When I told her up, it was all body language that she associated with. A dog can actually understand you more by using your body than you could by your words. That's why you're going, Chloe, hey, Chloe. Only thing she understood was that tone of voice. That's why she didn't move at first.
So you just came up and whatever.
No, I do good.
I'm gonna have to.
It was snap to her to go
I'm
over.
gonna have to review the tape because
We're gonna.
I'm like Chloe, and you just like Chloe, come over here, and she's like.
It's. I don't speak dog. I understand a dog's language, so I can better communicate with them. You know, we'll never learn to speak dog. We don't have ears that wiggle. We don't have a tail. You name it. But I study each individual part to get a better understanding of what the dog is trying to tell me, and then I try to communicate back by showing some of that body language and movement, which actually sometimes is more effective than using your own actual words. Who's smarter, dog or people? Because we teach them the words and they learn, but so many people won't learn dog to understand them.
Look at us today, sitting in the house, we're sitting, our dog is just watching us.
Yeah.
He's closed, his eyes are closed, but he's actually,
He
wasn't
wasn't
sleeping.
asleep.
He was just relaxed.
Eyes closed,
Mommy,
things
Daddy's
like
here.
mom and daddy's home. We say mom and daddy, he opens his eyes and looks up. You know, but he understands. Mom and dad's home, he's in his place, he's totally relaxed. Everybody's quiet.
That's what I was saying.
But if you walk to my house, if you went to my house right now with us not there and knocked on the door, there's 7 dogs there, it'll be 8 tomorrow. Not one dog will bark. And only 3 of them are ours.
Not one.
Not
We can
one.
call you when we get home.
I'll call you when I get home,
Count
and
on
I'll
it.
knock on my wall, and you won't hear one dog.
We can put you on speakerphone and you will yell.
Hold on, your dogs did it too when they were at my house. They didn't bark.
Well, they don't bark here.
Yeah, they did. We go out there, they
Well,
bark.
yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
It's
No,
not
in
like
a house, outside.
No, in the house.
So okay, let me see. So when somebody walks by your house,
Well, you got sensors too.
We have motion sensors.
well, your dogs aren't outside by themselves.
My dogs are never outside by
We
themselves.
always
They are
watch.
100% monitored all the time. I play with my dogs. I engage with my dogs. When they're with other dogs, I'm watching them. Remember,
What good is
one of
it-
our core concepts, control the play. My dog is very social. He'll play with multiple dogs.
Are you
but I
gonna
watch
leave
them
your
when they're doing it.
2-year-old kid, 3-year-old kid
So,
running around the
like
house?
Chloe and Haley have a propensity for overplay.
Same thing,
Right?
right?
And remember, like I said, control lives here, chaos lives here. So while the dogs are playing, I watch for different cues and how each of them are playing to sit back and
What
decide
good
when
is
I-
what good is a crated dog in protection?
We've talked about this already.
I forgot. I probably had two. I probably had two.
For a companion dog, my opinion is, for a companion dog in the private sector, if you engage with your dog properly, positively, and productively, and build that trust, loyal, and bond, you don't need a protective, you don't need to teach protection. And the crate is only an initial
Right, but
part
for 2 years.
of their small life stages to learn how for home behavior etiquette, potty training, you name it.
Okay, but right now, for example, Chloe's in a cage, crate, whatever you want to call it, jail, I call it.
Right.
Okay. She's in there. Haley's on a couch, whatever. We're sleeping in the bedroom. Somebody's sneaking in through the front door. The second that they hear a little whatever creak, whatever it is, I want them to start barking so they, oh my God, there's a dog in there, so the person runs away. So the person hears a dog and they're gone.
Yeah, but what if that person doesn't run away? Like I said, where we live, everybody likes to carry and conceal. If he got something that you really want or want to do something to you, he shoots the dog, he come and get you.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I understand you about an alertness, but you have redundancies to go along with that, not just the dog. You have cameras, we have motion sensors, the whole nine. So I just use it differently than you. I use my motion
Why
sensors.
am I wrong all the time?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You just have your own view, and I have mine. And I
Because I want them to bark so I can get my gun.
And you know what? I used to too, but I sleep with mine. There you go, safety on. I'm pointing swings. So all I want is hold him till daddy grab it. And it's right there. I'm not on no lockbox going, oh boy, when I open this safe and I put these bullets in, that's your ass. I'm in my own home. I'm point and squeeze. I don't have no child at home. My boy's 18, he knows no mess with that. Go get yours. We're both shooting. My dog is my companion, not my protector. If you're coming to my house, you gotta worry about me more than you gotta worry about my dog. But if I do need my dog, I don't want my dog to give you an alert. I want my dog to hold you while I come get you. Make sense? I used to do it the same way too. Bark, dog, let me know.
I've been doing it all wrong, I guess. Whatever. Look at Chloe. Look at her. The cage is open. The jail is open and she's laying there.
She's been all afternoon like that.
Really? With it open? With it open?
Yeah, she
With
goes
it open.
inside.
Okay, all right. See now the other thing
now
is.
becomes our safe haven.
See now the other So now the other thing is I said, okay, you know what? I feel guilty because I've always tucked them in. I give them a pillow. I give them a blanket this thick, memory foam.
And then you came home
How old
with
are they when
everything
you
all
do it,
over
and
here.
what is their behaviors? Do they
It
chew
pissed
that
me
pillow?
off.
But
Chloe started chewing it and ripping it. And
It's also dangerous
I'm
for
like, and
Remember the
It's
first
dangerous
day
one.
we came here?
right, and now I got a hole in this nice, right? I'm like, son of a bitch, he was
I
right again.
had to even force her to go out. I say, Chloe, come
Oh, really?
here.
Oh, she wouldn't come out?
Well, dogs are den animals by nature. From wolves. Wolves live in cages.
Dogs are what?
Den animals by nature.
Right.
Wolves live in cages.
Which is a good question.
So that crate, that crate, that
Should it be covered? Should I have all the walls covered? Leave one open? She likes the top one, and I learned this from you because you're like, oh, she was on the top crate. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Right.
Because it's more big.
we-
Yeah, so now,
we cover crates for unbalanced dogs. Dogs that excessively bark if you move or whine or whatever. What we practice is sensory deprivation. If they see us in the whining, we cover their eyes.
what if,
Things like that.
but if they're closed up, you know Haley, if Haley knows you're in the room and she's closed up, she's gonna be crying all night.
Not when we're at our house.
I
Okay,
try
so-
to close.
Haley,
I try
come
to
here.
close.
Not when she was at our house.
Haley, let's go in the cage, come on.
Wait, you say Haley or Chloe?
Haley.
Oh, Haley. Yes, that's why she was one of the ones that was covered.
Okay, but you cover Haley here now, she's like, she knows you're open,
You gotta be
she knows
patient.
you're here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
let
get
her-
it too. You gotta work it out.
Quiet.
What kind of
And
bitch she
she's
is?
quiet.
And
I thought it was better to close it.
Also, there's other evasives that you can use.
Wait,
Evasives-
I'm sorry.
I thought that because in
To
my
cover.
house we cover because he stays sometimes until late doing things and for them to sleep because until when he go to bed they don't really sleep.
Actually,
Only
I do
Haley.
the opposite of that.
But
We
Chloe
make
opened
as
the
much
eye.
noise and movement
No, I'm
as
in the kitchen
possibly
cleaning.
as we can.
when I get my buzz,
It desensitizes the dog.
And they
So
can
every
see
time
us right
something
now.
moves or you move a broom or whatever, they freak out. So we actually let them see this and we do it on purpose to desensitize them. If
Yeah.
they see it every day, it starts to go
we
away.
used to have this lady who their dog attacked the room. In the month.
Ah,
And then
yeah.
once I
So we have it for a month. She comes sleep in front of
because
us
I'm
every day.
doing it like 3 times a day, constantly. 'cause
Yeah,
the
but
dogs-
at night, I mean at night when you go to bed, because sometimes I notice that until when we go to bed they don't really sleep.
Haley, 9, 10 o'clock. No, Haley-
When you go to bed, they do go to sleep.
Yeah, Haley runs all day, but
Okay, it's just what I expressed
she's
before.
looking, she's quiet, but she's looking,
She's on my hand.
looking,
Okay,
until when
that
we
could
go
be,
to
I didn't
bed.
get enough exercise.
which
So
one?
This is what we're talking about with
Well-
better communication with your dog and learning the dog. You gotta look at those things. Look at, listen with your eyes, use the right
We got more
cues,
stuff
something like that.
I don't know how long to do this, but for exercise, we
Yeah,
show them stuff.
I got some things that if it's raining, that you can sit back and engage and exercise with your dog.
Stuff
But
you guys could
don't
do
forget,
in
you
the
have a
house.
husky. Huskies are endurance dogs. So just sitting back, like I said, running around your yard for a half hour, or taking her for a quick walk, that's not going to condition your dog of exercise. So once again, that's a question of balance. You have that, gotta have the right amount, right balance. What time you feed them, how much you exercise. So our good gauge for exercise is 5 minutes for a 5 pound dog. But then you have
Wait, say it again.
5 minutes per 5 pounds of dog.
5 minutes.
5
per
minutes of
5
exercise
pounds.
per 5 pounds
So
of
how
dog.
big is
You got a 60 pound dog, you work that dog for an hour. But you also have to consider breed. Now, Chloe is probably 40, 50 pounds. So we're gonna give her almost an hour exercise. But then you have to also consider she's a husky. This dog
Chloe,
is
on the GPS thing, Huskies, excuse me, I'm sorry, on the GPS thing, Chloe's at like 4-5 miles, I think.
Okay. But it doesn't always have to be physical exercise. This is why we brought some things today.
She likes sweet things.
Mental exercise. Sometimes we're here in Florida and winter's here. I call summers winters here. You know what I mean? So it's like our summers here are like winters up north. You don't go outside until it's until it's night or it's not raining.
I'm sorry.
That's why you don't leave Haley out all day.
Yeah, winter's here. You can overheat your dog easily.
Well, but then that's why I got that trough thing.
It's still hot outside.
Well, overheat your dog. I mean, I got the fifth wheel parked out there, the RV, whatever it is. They go dig.
So it's 100 degrees up there. The concrete is probably 130, but then under the fifth wheel, it's right back down to 80 or 90 degrees. It's still hot.
Yeah, but yesterday and today.
So could you do it all day?
Really hot and
Hold
I
on.
let
Could you do it all day?
Hey,
I'm gonna sit
yeah,
back and have you run around through the yard, back and forth up on the fence, and then afterwards, I'm gonna leave you out a big bottle of water so you drink it, and then to get shade,
And
I'm gonna put you under the fifth
overheat.
wheel.
But see, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know. I can't talk much right now because I don't even have a clue what goes on anymore. I know before.
Okay.
I know before when I let him. Haley, during the day, she wants to be outside.
Yeah.
She hated to be
She's
inside.
not a boss.
They all, but the
And
point
it's
is,
also a behavior that you condition.
they're
Because
smart
it's
enough to
what you want.
realize. No, but they're
what you
smart
want.
to realize if it's too hot or too cold
But she's
or whatever.
trying to make.
But they're not smart.
I'm sorry.
She cried now. This week she's been crying
Why?
to let her in.
And
Because you know why? Because this one's inside all day.
Yeah,
That's why.
that's
That's
what
why.
you do.
But that's okay. I'm okay if they're inside. I mean, whatever. I don't want to leave. I feel
So you
guilty
do.
when they're out.
Create a
when they're
balance.
outside.
When you feel guilty, create a balance.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
Create a balance.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Because before I didn't notice when I was
You
going
create a balance,
to
you
work,
create
but
balance, and
because
calm
this
your dogs.
week-
before you have to worry about putting a bowl out.
Because here I've been more 3 weeks in the house, more or less. Now I can see more what
Yeah.
A
What
routine,
you're doing.
exactly. Now you see, but what exactly?
So do you
that's
see
why.
it?
That's why I don't even like whatever she does.
It's not
I
right
like,
now.
yeah,
It's not whatever, you gotta make it a united front.
It's good.
And communicate with each other. I
And
mean,
it's
this is
gonna
what
be
this is all
raining a
about,
lot
is communication.
all week.
You got
so-
rain, everything like
See,
that.
but-
It's gonna be hard to
but
get
that's
your dog
also
to the
why I
bathroom,
like
let
the-
alone exercise.
But that's also why I like the doggy doors too, or is that too much freedom?
You don't need a damn dog either.
Doggy door is too much freedom, especially when you have a dog
Think
with a
about
propensity to
something
run
that's
away.
Yeah.
That's not
Okay, but
If your dog has a doggy
does
door,
good.
you're not. Look,
Haley
if your
does-
dog has a doggy door, you're not your dog's leader. That is
Okay, all right,
that door.
Is a doggy door for you?
Your dog
or
don't
for
pay
the
no
dog?
bills.
both of us.
Yes, it's for you.
It's
No, doggy door for you or the dog? It's for him.
it's so when I have too
So
much.
you don't have to.
It's,
Doggy,
it's so when I have too much wine and like here now it's Friday night.
Yeah.
I had 2 Four Locos and I shouldn't have had that because I haven't had Four Loko in a long time. But I was so tired after work. Four Loko wakes me
Right.
up. But anyway,
But
So now-
conditioning behavior is all part of training. So giving a dog a doggy door, in my opinion, you're creating reactivity in your dog.
you don't let me finish. I might want to sleep till like 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Who
When you have
cares?
your dog sleep till 3 o'clock.
Our dogs stay up for 10
What did I
hours.
say before? If the alpha wolf moves, the rest of the pack moves. If you-
But she might
there
have
is
not
no
been
alpha-
drinking
there
the
is
night
no
before.
alpha
She's
dog.
she's been waking up to go to the bathroom at
Because
7 o'clock.
last weekend we was sleeping until.
You're right.
And they was
And they
sleeping.
slept.
They didn't even
I'm
move.
wrong again.
They
See?
didn't even move.
No, she's right. She's right. She's
Yes,
right.
I know.
I ain't gonna lie.
She's right. She's right.
Like I was saying,
right, she's
you're
right.
conditioning a
And
behavior, which is
I was
part of training.
surprised. I thought, I can't believe they didn't even move, nothing until when we wake up.
I
You know what?
Get
And
upset
you know,
about
it's
it.
funny you say that. I'm glad you said that because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh my god. Because Chloe's in.
dog go out and let shit everywhere.
Exactly. Chloe's in jail.
And all they said
whatever
was,
you want to call
all
it.
they said was, I was waiting for you, Daddy.
Yeah,
That's
no,
leadership.
you're right. You're
That's
and it's funny you say that because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh
I
my
looked
god.
at that and I thought, wow.
I was like, I'm gonna come out there.
All right. Some people might not agree with what we're. Some people not agree with what we're saying there. So here's the other side of the spectrum.
Wait, some people might not agree with what?
What might not agree, saying, oh, because we slept, the dog slept. They're probably like, oh God, should have got that dog out. No, dog's in a controlled environment. You name it, probably living in better than most people,
They
especially
didn't
homeless
eat or
people.
drink since what,
Right.
8, 9 o'clock that night or whatever, you know?
So, but here's the other side of the spectrum. Same hypothetical situation. You're sleeping the same amount of time, but you have a doggy door, and you're sleeping, and your dog is constantly going in and out. You might have a fenced-in yard that's going on
for the raccoons,
but there could be a wild animal going through your yard, and you don't know he's out there. There could be a cat going through your yard. He could be digging poles up an electrical wire, eating something he's not supposed to that could potentially kill him, but you don't know it because of your doggy door.
And what about those
Instead of
animals
your-
getting in?
Yeah. Or what about the animals
The
getting in?
animals getting in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know what? It's
It's to each owner's
I'm going.
preference. To each owner's preference. But I got a dog for companionship, and I don't just want to be a dog owner. I want to be a dog handler. I study dogs' behavior just like they study mine because they study us like it's nobody's business. And I do it not only with my dogs, but I have the privilege of dealing with all kinds of dogs and owners, which owner-dog relationship is as rare as a fingerprint. So every new potential client I meet, they might have the same kind of dog, but just that one click from if they live up the street, down the street, or across the street changes that routine that I have to sit back and do for them.
you know what?
So you learn so much more with your dog. That's why I say it's dog handling, not dog owning. Anybody can be a dog owner, not everybody can be a dog handler.
She knows I'm a control freak.
So am I. So am I.
She knows, and here, you know, I'm like, I've had a dog for 49 years. I've had dogs all my life. You think you're doing things right. You think you're whatever it is, and you're kind of.
I really want to learn more and more about the behavior of the dogs or how to treat the dogs.
Right?
I
Yeah.
really want
Because it's.
Then I
You
just
can't
did,
give
and that's like
anything.
my job. Then I just did my job right there. If you sit back and you eat, you have to eat to survive. Now let's say as people, we eat 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why wouldn't you want to learn about food or be a food aficionado? And you have to put that in your body to survive and eat it every day. If you have a dog, why wouldn't you want to learn about the dog if the dog is with you every day? Right? Like, tell me some human foods that are toxic to dogs. Human foods that are toxic to dogs. Regular, everyday human foods. Name 3 of them.
Honestly,
chicken.
No, toxic.
Poisonous.
Toxic is like chocolate, avocado, I think, or no, what
The
else?
seed of the avocado. Come on,
Right?
keep going.
And honestly, I don't know. I don't give them anything like that.
Garlic.
I don't know. I don't give them
Onions?
Onions. Yeah. Okay, that's right. I knew about onions.
What's this? Grapes.
I don't know. I don't give them.
The seeds and the skin of grapes and apples are toxic to dogs.
Oh, and apples too.
The skin and the seeds.
Yesterday I put that there and she grabbed one
Yeah.
and
Oh,
she
apples.
took
I just don't know
The
that.
skin and the seeds.
Yeah.
But the actual meat of the apple, the dog can eat. So these, just things like that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And I
wait.
learned
You
that-
said. Wait. So I'm sorry. You said the seeds.
The seeds
Oh yeah.
and the
That's
skin
got what's it called in it?
of an
Cyanide
apple.
or.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The seeds
yeah.
and the skin of an apple
Yeah.
are toxic to
The
dogs.
seeds are toxic to everybody, but the skin. What's in the skin? That's toxic.
Same properties. They do like.
What is it, like
what
cyanide or
to
something or
protect
whatever?
itself. Yeah. But it's
Oh,
well,
it's in
most
the-
skins are bad for dogs. Most skins and seeds are bad for dogs.
But the skin is bad for the dogs, but not for us.
They put potatoes in dog food and potato pumice. The potato skin is toxic for the dog. It's in your dog food though.
and what else is bad for the dogs?
There's a lot of different things out there. You can sit
Spoiling
back and look. You can sit back and look online and look at. You can just type in toxic human food.
What's that
for
food?
dogs.
What's that food that? Hold on a second, because now you say potatoes. Because now I talked
But
to.
sweet potato and pumpkin are a superfood for dogs. Coconut oil.
Do you know a lot about foods or no?
Dog foods?
Yeah.
I'm learning. I have dogs, so I'm constantly learning with dog foods. I'm always worried about
My vet told me about this,
Mhm.
and then but this is, I think, promoted by like Pet Supermarket or something like that,
Right.
or whatever.
Right. Well, I actually get my food from.
See, look,
local
potato
pet
and
store.
turkey, but
Right. I actually get my food from a local pet store, local family-owned, local business. So I support the local businesses, but these guys will know more about dog food. They will forget more about dog food than I'll ever learn, and they actually educate me on caloric intake, meat byproducts,
Right.
you name it. Especially, I specialize in
because
pit bulls
that's difficult.
and the allergies that pit bulls are getting these days that they didn't have 20, 30 years ago because this backyard breeding that's going on is just running rampant. So you have to worry about caloric intake and stuff like that with having a pit bull because they actually, because of their breed, eat a higher level of protein than other dogs. So this is all with me learning over the years of dealing with pit bull and other animals. And you have to have the right combination. You can't just have an ambiguous type of dog food for different dog breeds. You actually have to be breed specific and feeding. So with researching your Doberman Pincher and your Husky, did you research the caloric intake and the type of foods they need in their diet?
Caloric intake. For 49 years, like I keep saying.
Calories, man, calories. What they need
When
for
I first
energy.
met you, what did you see? I got this big old trough I bought. It's a horse drinking
Oh
trough.
my God, it's a horse trough for dog food.
And I change the water every day, whatever it is, so they have a fresh trough.
Right.
When you talk about overheating or whatever it is, what does Chloe do? Chloe jumps into it, drinks the water while she's standing in it, swimming, whatever.
Fantastic.
I think that's cool as hell. It's just
Feed a dog. I get it. I get it.
yeah.
Feed a
So
dog.
I think it's cool as hell. And then food. I mean, I've had some fat dogs. My little baby Amber up there. I've had my baby Brandon.
So-
I've had fat dogs.
But you can't tell how that's treating your dog outside or on a whole because you already said you go outside. When's the last time you seen your dog's poop?
That's it. It's funny, and you're right.
Actually, where you have to find it.
Because when I do go for a walk, and I'm like, oh my God, she's got diarrhea. I wonder how long she's
If you're
had
in a
that.
trough out there, you never sat back and engaged your dog's eating habits. So in order to know that's a good food, you have to gauge your dog's eating habits and look at the end result.
I dropped them off at your house. I said, here's a bag of food. That should be enough for 2 weeks.
And then I
And
came
you
back-
said, well, that's not enough.
And then
Like, I don't know how much they eat. I don't know
And
what.
I told you, I said, Chloe should be eating a cup and a half 2 times a day, and Haley should be eating 2 cups 2 times a
That's
day.
why I put the
Okay,
time
but
inside.
look what you did. You left it outside. Right now, the raccoons, the stray
Yeah,
cats.
but then right down there, that was a trough of food out
Okay,
there.
but exactly. But you see what you're doing? Okay, I didn't even know that. She's got a cup in the bag. Let me bring it over here.
Because
I gotta put this on
And
video. Bring it
that's
over
not
here.
a safe cup.
Bring it over here.
No, because it's
Bring it over here.
It's
Bring it over
ceramic.
here.
It could break and you can get charged in there. They hold
Okay, that's a whole nother story too. So what she's got is she's got this. So what are you doing? So how much does Haley get?
You need an actual measuring cup.
Okay, but you left it outside, so how do you know if the squirrels are eating
I
it?
know, I mix
Because I told because I said I want to go half and half. I want to convert her into this food.
Okay, how you do that now? I can talk to you about
Half and
that
half.
with food conversion.
Yeah.
And this is an ambiguous basic for dogs. You do it over a course of a week. Every couple of days, every couple of days you go. First, you start off with 25%, 50%,
Yeah.
75%.
That's what I noticed this
and
week,
then
they've
one.
not been eating.
So
They're eating. Hey, Chloe ate. I put her in the cage.
I noticed the Chloe's not been eating.
She ate last
Only
night.
not
Chloe's a picky eater.
Yeah, but not
She is.
eating that.
Chloe's a picky
But she's
eater.
not skinny. It's not like she's.
No,
It's
no.
not like I mean.
But
I'm not gonna worry. Like you said it
I didn't
multiple
say
times.
worry
Chloe's
that
not
it's
eating.
a
Chloe's not
meal.
eating. She's not eating. She says she's not eating. I mean, let me tell you. Unless her fur's getting thicker and her stomach's getting skinnier or whatever, I don't know. She's not.
I didn't say don't worry if they miss a meal. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
That's
I'm
normal.
not. I'm not exactly.
But
I'm not worried.
You do want to be aware of your dog's eating habits. Actually, as their owner,
Well, my 49 years,
as their owner, handler, you want to condition their eating habits. You're 100% responsible for your dog. Your dog can't go in that refrigerator, unless you train him to do so, and grab that food out, or the right food for him, and eat it. So, once again, you want to control the food. When is your dog eat? You want to know, when is your dog eating? And the best thing to sit back and condition your dog's eating habits is a controlled routine. Feeding them the same way at the same time every day. That's why you're so used to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Your stomach's gonna growl. You've been conditioned that way.
I mean, I don't know, whatever. In my
But
head,
that
it's like
routine-
dogs, they're wild, they
Okay,
rip, they eat as much as they want.
when you were in school, any school, whether it's elementary to higher education,
Right.
when it was time to eat lunch, all right, if you were in a class, could you just get up from that class and say, I'm here, I'm gonna go eat? Answer the question.
I mean,
No! They
exactly.
said, this time is lunchtime. That's all I'm saying for your dog.
I got kicked out of boarding school for that reason.
We used to leave campus school.
What about Blue? Who used to take this water?
Yeah, we have a dog now who displays an obsessive
goes
compulsive
sick.
disorder. He's addicted to water.
You drink water bottle?
And he counter surfs.
He will
He'll
see-
jump if you turn on water, he'll go crazy and try to drink
If
it.
you have a water
Not
bottle
only
in
will
your
he drink
hand,
it, he'll
he
try to
goes
drink
to
it all.
jump at people with
If
water
you have
bottles.
Maybe you
water,
don't give him enough water.
no, he doesn't get enough water. He has an
He'll go to
obsession.
toilets.
He'll
Drink
drink
water.
until he will drink until it's gone.
And did
He
you
would
know?
drink till he's
Haley
sick.
does that too because it's
Chloe,
nice and fresh.
Does you know what happened with Chloe? She put the when she put the water,
Yeah. Oh, they
she
start
put
swimming
all
in
the
it.
water
Yeah, are you
in
fine
it.
with that?
That's what she does.
Outside,
I
I'm
don't know if you
fine.
keep going. I don't know if you keep
Outside,
going.
I'm fine with it because she jumps in, and it's just so cute. She jumps
But
in
what
that
he did was
trough.
create an indoor
No.
unwanted behavior.
Exactly.
like
But you hear what he said? We laugh at it outside, but when she does it inside, I mean, we created, like you said.
It's not clear communicating with your dog. She's going, what? What did I do?
Can I teach her that if it's over 2 feet tall, that she can jump in it, but if it's under
No,
4
you only
inches,
give her-
you can only drink it?
You only get her limited.
How about not having her drinking water outside
Didn't Blue get sick?
unless
though?
you're there with her?
Didn't
Yeah,
Blue go?
unless you're there with her.
He literally got sick. Or he-
Controlling the water is also controlling the food. Your dog can get sick that way or develop that obsessive compulsive
You did
disorder.
say something before about controlling their water intake.
Not to
I
mention
never
warm,
ever.
Not to mention warm water out there.
It's not
water
warm.
for bacteria.
I've been changing the water all
Yeah,
day
yeah.
long.
With that trough.
You know,
That,
they
well, actually,
like it so
you know
much.
what? You know what? Before I got that trough.
Because she didn't drink the water. I mean, I had to change.
Before I got that trough, what I did was I had a regular bowl of water, the regular whatever bowl of water. But what I did is I put it under the faucet, and I would have it literally dripping all day.
That's
so
not-
she had fresh
Now,
drinking water.
When veterinarians and professionals are saying, make sure they have plenty of water, for them to drink. When they say plenty of water, what they mean is give them what they need, not what they want. Okay? If your dog is in a controlled environment all day, not running around like this, air-conditioned home, 70 degrees, not running around all day, they don't need 10 gallons of water. They need enough to sustain in their body to process their food at that point. That's the same as a human.
That's what I changed.
Only
the
thing a
bowl.
mammal needs water for, if not burning off calories, is to process their food and to keep their blood temperature up, whatever it may be. Right? You got to doctor it. Why do we eat? Because we're warm-blooded and we have to constantly keep that temperature up. So how do we do that? We do that with our food. Calories, the definition of calorie is the amount of water, the amount it takes 1 drop of water to raise 1 degree. If you're not running around, you're not burning any calories. Why do you need all that water?
Whatever I've been doing.
I give, when I
know.
feed, I give equal amounts of water. Like say I'm going for the day. Whatever I feed the dog, I give them equal amount of water. So it's 50-50.
How
So
many
if I feed them 2
How
cups, I
many
give
people
them
out
2
there
cups of
just
water.
give their animals free range? And they're still good animals. They're healthy. They have a doggy door. They go pee and poop outside.
Yeah. How many?
Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm
But I bet you those people conditioned a trained behavior before they gave them free range. You didn't have free range as a child, and neither should a puppy.
Or they think they're good and then
I mean,
they're
I wasn't.
really
I
out
know.
there.
I mean, whatever. What do we do.
We train our children. We don't keep our cat for 18 years for nothing.
You have a doggy door. You have this little rubber flap with a magnet on it, right? They take a poop inside, they pee inside, you hit them in the head with the friggin' newspaper, you grab them by the leash, you throw them out the door, and then they do it again. By the third or fourth time, they're like, I better not do that and just do it outside. And then, how many people have done it? Am I wrong or not?
I mean, your dog's stressed out from a basic behavior, and you can't get any other.
I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm Mr. Like kick the shit out of my dog, but
You don't.
we have some things that you can use instead of kicking the shit out of your dog. There's evasives. There's evasives. Evasive corrections.
I hug her my sleep with until Adriana. Adriana doesn't like to sleep with
Listen
the
real
dog.
quick.
She sleeps with the dog.
There's evasive that you can use, evasive corrections that you can use without kicking the shit out of your dog. Okay? And in balance training. Because I'm not a total positive reinforcement trainer. I believe in reward and repercussion. Alright?
Does he do that with you?
So, here's one thing. We were just discussing it. Here's one thing.
Wait, I asked you a question. You do that with her?
You can't train your wife. This is for you, Adriana. What's this?
Water.
It's a water gun. Simple water in the face, right? You can get to the point where you can get to the point.
Yeah, she doesn't like that.
Now,
She doesn't like that little
now
thing.
timing is everything, and keeping it readily available also helps. But it has to be the right time. Don't correct your dog when it's after the behavior's gone 10 minutes. Timing's everything. You have to catch them in the act. You can get to the point. You can get to the point where you can pick it up and show it to the dog and deter the unwanted behavior by this. So if you don't like squirting the dog with the water, which doesn't hurt him, but you don't want to get the fear-based correction in with them, you can sit back and show it to him, which is even less evasive. Also, what you have to understand, this is a blue squirt bottle. It's blue for a reason.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Dogs do not see the same color spectrum as humans. They're not colorblind, but they don't see the same colors that we do. But they do see blue and yellow really well. So things that I try to get for dogs, I try to make sure they are blue or yellow, especially their toys, ropes, and balls.
Really?
Really. Another one. This is, and if you notice, this is all about the senses, right? This would be touch or sight, right? What's this one?
Chloe's afraid to come out of her jail.
It's sound, right? When you train, when you train and when you correct, you do it with your senses. You use the senses basically. If you're teaching your dog to sit and your dog sits, when you say it and he did a good job, how do you say it? Good dog. So that's sight and sound. What else do you do? Sometimes what else do some people do? You give them a treat.
Yeah.
That's taste. So you train with your senses. So you can use your senses to train positively, or you can use it as a negative reinforcement. A nice loud sound from a dog doing something usually helps. A squirt of water, or a simple bottle with a bunch of pennies in it. Now, around the house, I keep it readily available.
Look at this.
Let's say these are short, medium, and long range evasives.
Do you have them in the crate? Remember when?
So if they're doing something you don't want them to do, Haley's sitting back, Chloe's sitting back digging in the yard, or you're getting excessive whining where it's obsessive, you know what I mean, where she just won't stop even after you tell her to stop. Instead of her associating with your voice, associate it with something she doesn't like, and she's causing it. So every time she whines, when she stops, you say, good girl,
Oh,
quiet.
first you're quiet, then you.
Once she goes quiet, you say, quiet.
Every single one of those things I can use in the bedroom.
Yep. Okay, this one's for Paul.
That's
So every time he says something from now on, I'm gonna go.
That definitely I can use for
This is like, have you ever seen a bear horn as well? Sit back
Bear horn?
Yeah, we're from up north, we're from Pennsylvania, so they have.
I'm sorry, I just noticed, that's not even like, I thought you have to get like a CO2 thing. That's like forever.
This is forever use. It's spring loaded, forever use.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, and none of this, by the way,
Wow.
none of this, by the way, cost over $1.
He listens very well.
Yeah, dude, don't tell her I'm dumb.
The what?
You have water bottles all the time, don't you? You gave me that water. What do you do with these bottles?
Throw them in the
Some
recycling.
pennies in it.
Throw them in recycling. There are better tools that you can use to sit back and correct, and get correct.
So when you're,
response.
let me see that. See, so when you're not listening to me,
No. You tell me. You give me the right. You
wait,
Okay.
Tell him wait for that, yeah.
wait,
be honest.
wait.
Who is being? Be honest. Who doesn't listen in this house?
Last week it was
Oh,
Paul.
God.
Last week it was Paul, but now
Are you shy? Are you behaving? You fight or
if
feel?
you ask me a question,
This is for the dog.
Oh!
for the dogs, by the way.
Oh, that's for the dog.
If you asked me that question last week, I would say Paul. But this week he's reached a crossroads, a plateau. He's
I have to admit,
it's coming to play.
I'm feeling a little stupid.
And you should. It's just one man passing on education to another. It can be done
The
by
best thing is you're learning that you're the
leader.
problem.
I like his word better.
You were the problem,
You
and
agreed,
we
but
were the problem,
that's the
but
step.
resolving to that fact
That's the
makes
step
you the leader.
to
You
admit.
understand what I'm saying? That's the step to it. Once you say, I always ask myself, and like I said, I'm a dog trainer of multiple dogs, but everything I do isn't right. So I always
So you're an alcoholic.
I always
and you
have to adjust. So I go home and I reflect and I say, what can I do different? What can I do better? And I play it like a chess. I use it like a chess game. I have to make the right move.
I'm wrong
One
again.
wrong move, and I'm in check. So I have to figure this out.
I mean, I have to admit, it's one of those things where you think you're doing things right. I've had dogs for 49 years. Yeah, right.
One more time, Paul.
But I mean, whatever. I'll admit, it's like
That's it.
I'm getting dogs from the Humane Society. I'm getting whatever it is. You whack them in the head with a newspaper. You tell them no. You go outside. Whatever, and then right. Who else hit them with the newspaper?
My dogs go to the bathroom in one spot in the yard. You can literally roll in my yard and
What
roll
do you-
and shit. And they speak sign language. So, yeah.
Well, I actually just to end this off or whatever it is. So if a dog goes to the bathroom in your house in front of you, what is the right thing to do?
I just showed you. If you were sitting back taking a piss right now, and my back came to you, and I caught you taking a piss, and I went like this, what would you do? You pee on yourself. It would go everywhere, which would be funny to see, by the way.
You want to do this? You want to throw this in the video? You want to throw it in the video?
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
Where does positive? This is some of the things that I don't understand. Where does positive reinforcement come from when you're catching your dog going to the bathroom in the act? How do you correct that with positive reinforcement?
And how much water do they have?
What? Just clean it up and leave the dog to be? That's like
That's what she does.
If your son took a
She cleans it up and she's like, okay, whatever.
Let me
You go in the crate.
Let me say,
Yeah, right? Isn't that what you did?
Let
She goes, oh look what she did. She did
In
it
my
again.
house, we always have small dogs, and that's why we teach the dogs. When they do the poo-poos or whatever in the house, we do with the paper.
Says it's so cute. Poo-poos.
We do the paper like that,
Right.
and put him.
And his nose in it.
Yes, and
And
because the noise of the newspaper, not to hit the dog really,
Right.
it's the noise of the newspaper,
Really?
like a
But
scare.
what you're teaching your dog then is that's kind of like old school. We did it
Yeah,
back.
we did it back in the day.
Yes.
This
That's
is
teaching
exactly
your dog.
what- yeah,
That's
we did
teaching
it.
your dog to be scared of you and the act. I like to sit back and make my dog think that he caused the act. So I'm catching my dog going to the bathroom. I failed to say, by the way, I'd love to catch the dog going to the bathroom. What I would do is hide. Like I said, his back is turned to me, whatever. He pees. He got a negative response from it. You understand what I'm saying? He pees. He got a
That
negative
noise
response from it.
came
And he's
from-
going to associate with that with going to the bathroom. It has to be a timing thing as well. But then afterwards, you have to finish that training session. You have to just take the dog out and show them where you want to go pee. And also, remember I said training with the senses. Not only do we show the dog where we want them to go to the bathroom, We scent
Okay, that's
where we
better.
want them to go to the bathroom. Okay, stop.
Alright, that's enough for right now. He's getting too much info.
Too much info.
We got other days coming.
You got other days coming. We'll give you something at a time. But these are things that we do. We train with we use the senses to train. Think of it that way. So we use sight, sound, taste, smell, feel.
We've been doing it all wrong. All right, thank you, Dog Handling Dojo. It's not Dog Training Dojo. It's Dog Handling Dojo, Dog Human Training
Dog
Dojo.
handling dojo.
Dog Handling
We handle
Dojo.
dogs, we train humans.
Thank you.